Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. So today I'm going to have a little bit of a talk about how big of an anvil do you need. So this question comes up a lot, certainly in the chats. It also comes up quite a bit in blacksmithing forums, things of that nature. And it's a pretty simple question to answer, and so I'm going to try to do that as quickly as I can today. So let's start with my anvil. My anvil here is 465 pounds. This is my dream anvil. It's been my dream anvil for a very long time. It is a German Pettinghaus double horn anvil, and it is an absolute beaut. It has no cutting shelf on it, which is fine by me, and it has no what I like to call the scroll starter shelf. It's got usually they'll have a shelf or something out there. I'm sure you guys have seen that, which is fine by me as well. I don't like the scroll starter shelf, but it does have an upset block. I really do appreciate that on this anvil. So how big of an anvil do you need? For me, in my professional work, I prefer a larger anvil. I prefer a large anvil with good, clean, sharp edges. And when I say sharp, those are about 1/8 to about 1/4 inch radius on any of my edges of this anvil. And I don't like them to be any rounder than that. That's a personal choice of mine, and it's for the work that I do. And the type of work that I do requires very exacting shoulders. So if that doesn't work for you, you can get rounder edges, things of that nature, or you can put a block in your anvil. So that brings me to my next point. An anvil doesn't have to be as pretty as this anvil is in order for it to be a functional anvil. Will you produce as pretty of work off of this anvil surface if it's all chopped up? No, you won't. That will get beat into your material, and it creates an absolute pain when it comes to cleaning it up. But I digress into that conversation. What we are trying to talk about today is how big. Well, you need a large enough anvil to overcome the mass of the material that you're working. And that's your max anticipated mass of material that you're working. So say you're working 2-pound hammerheads, right? Well, obviously you don't want to take and have a 2-pound anvil. I mean, that would be ludicrous, right? But say you need to have a striker swing a 12-pound sledge. Again, it wouldn't make sense to have a 2-pound anvil with a 12-pound sledge swinging at it, okay, working on a 2-pound hammerhead. So if we keep that in mind, would a 12-pound anvil work between a 12-pound sledge? Ideally not. Usually you want the anvil weight to be about 10 times what it is of the hammer that you're swinging, okay? So say, if you will, or say 10 times is like an anvil weight for like a power hammer, if you will. That's what they say. It's an average. I don't go with averages too much. So in this case, so say I swing a 2-pound hammer and I'm working with an anvil, say 2-pound hammer, I mean 10 times is only what? That's only 20 pounds, right? You can get away with about a 20-pound anvil. That's probably be your bare bones minimum. I would say 100 times that, even better. Larger the better. If you can get a larger anvil, great. That's not always the case, and it doesn't always fit your shop. So you may want to take and consider getting with a much smaller anvil. Maybe you do shows. If you do shows, I wouldn't suggest anything over 100 pounds. You have to lug it around the shows. You got to lug it in and lug it out and lug it in and lug it out. It becomes a pain in the butt real quick. And so I would suggest a lot lighter anvil if you're doing shows. If you look at farriers or guys that take and shod horses with shoes, and they still actually shape the shoes around an anvil, they usually prefer a much smaller anvil, not a big old heavy sucker. At their main shop, they'll have a big heavy anvil, but on their truck, they're going to have a lot lighter anvil just because it's easier to get in and out and those sort of things. So for a main shop anvil, I would suggest that you get anywhere from about 125 pounds all the way up to about 250 pounds is perfectly fine for a main shop anvil. If it's a demonstration anvil, I would do 100 pounds or less for a demonstration anvil, with a maximum of about 25 pounds at the least essential. I wouldn't go any less than 25 pounds for a demonstration anvil. It won't be much good to you. It won't be very large, and you won't be able to do a whole lot with it. Maybe do some nail making or something of that nature. If you have it in your billfold, the larger the amount of mass and material that you can put underneath the hammer blow allows more of that hammer blow to be absorbed into the material and less of that hammer blow to shake around your anvil. That's just true in everything. And plus you can get into things where you can have some sledgehammer work done on it, and that'll help you out as well. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I rambled a little bit on this video, but I think I gave out some pretty good information. If you feel that I have given out some good information, go ahead and leave me a like button. If you don't think I gave out good information, go ahead and leave me that thumbs down. I greatly appreciate the feedback either way. I thank you for watching this video, and if this is your first video with us and you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and hitting that little jingly bell for notifications. And we put out new videos, content every single day. So thank you all for watching this video, and like I always say, God bless you, and we will catch you on the next one.